Hey guys, Mark Allen, BHSpringSolutions, LLC, BHSpringSolutions.com, and we are here today to talk to owners of three specific firearms, and these are very, very similar firearms, but they are actually different guns. The FM Detective model high powers, those were Argentine made, and there were two versions of those, an early and a late one. The Girsan MC-P35 PI models, that's your shortened barrel versions, same barrel length as your FM Detectives, and again, same barrel length, your Springfield SA-35, they call a compact. And after having done, evaluation and analysis of all of these firearms and finding, their strong points and their Achilles heels and everything like that, what we've come to is there are two what we call critical modifications or additions or upgrades to those models, and it's all three of them really. And both of these do cover all three of those models, but for a variety of reasons. We're going to try to explain that real quickly. First of all, the BH Advanced barrel for those models and the BH Advanced recoil spring guide rod assembly. And we're going to explain real quickly as we can, but I think you're going to be stunned by the number of benefits and upgrades that you get when you add these two together. And it's the reason why we're today offering these in a combo pack. And we're just going to kind of explain the reasons why for that. First of all, we want to talk about recoil spring guide rod. There is an old FM Detective recoil spring guide rod. It has, your detent ball that controls your slide stop, and these work fine until there's an internal spring in here that gives up the ghost and wears out. And once it wears out, you don't have enough pressure on that ball to control the slide stop anymore. The symptom will be your slide will start locking back before the magazine is empty. The Girsan MC-P35s have the very same problem, but the problem there is actually a misdesign where they've used our guide rod head technology but put a spring behind the ball with the open head design, and now you have two competing springs, and you're unable again to reliably put enough pressure on the slide stop to keep it in the down position so it does not cam up prematurely before and lock your slide back before the magazine is empty. And the Springfield SA, and we've had the Girsan MC-P35s locked back prematurely. The SA-35 did the same thing. They don't have such a problem with as far as a defective design as much as they do a inferior or not enough spring pressure behind that detent ball again in their slide stop, and we had premature slide lock back in our testing in the SA-35 compact as well. Have had it happen with the FM Detectives, and virtually any FM Detective today is subject to do that because based on the age that they are here in 2026, all of the springs inside all of those old guide rods are shot and no longer working optimally, and they're not going to get better, as time does not make this one better when you have an internal spring that wears out that cannot again be replaced. So the BH Advanced recoil spring guide rod makes several improvements. One, it does not rely on an internal spring. It relies on the pressure of your recoil springs to influence that ball towards the slide stop to keep it in the down position. That's your recoil spring guide rod, and that head part specifically, that's the command and control center of the positioning of your slide stop, if you will. And in all of these models, it is today deficient. So we can say across all three of them, our BH Advanced recoil spring guide rod is superior. It's going to keep that slide stop behaving correctly and operating correctly. The thing that we have done here with the BH Advanced recoil spring guide rod is we made this guide rod flexible. So check this out. And the reason we did is because the other thing that can be very, very difficult, particularly in the FM Detective and the Girsan PI models, is installing those guide rods, those original ones, is just treacherous sometimes. And that flexibility of the guide rod makes these install extremely smooth, just like what you would expect something that maybe John Browning designed as far as how it goes together very, very seamlessly. There are two recoil springs working in tandem, and that is always better than one recoil spring. The FM Detectives out of Argentina did have a similar two spring design, and We have gone with that rather than the flat wire design of the Girsan PIs and the Springfield SA-35 compact. Recoil control is superior in all models, and this is a product that I consider for, you know, for those models for myself. This one is truly essential. And again, in all of these, they say the Springfield SA-35 is a 4-inch barrel. It's not 3.89, just like your FM Detective, just like your Girsan MC-P35 PI. All of them are the same barrel length. This is a problem solver, and it is a lifetime part. You're going to need to change those recoil springs periodically, but the part itself is considered a lifetime part. What makes that flexible, by the way, that is a rather expensive aircraft grade polyamide tubing, it's called, and that is threaded into the tubing, Loctited to be permanent, and we've never had any failures. These are going to be resistant to all your solvents, oils, things like that. It's going to be resistant to excessive heat, excessive cold, and it's not going to cause you any issues like that. So the BH Advanced Recoil Spring Guide Rod Assembly, flexible assembly for the Girsan MC-P35 PI, Springfield SA-35 compact, and all of your FM Detective models. Okay, the BH Advanced barrel for those same models. Now, why is this one important? Well, if you happen to have an older FM Detective model, you've got a barrel that looks like this, and it's got this humped feed ramp, it's called. The modern design is straight. The straight design is good with blunt nose or hollow point expanding ammunition, feeding it. These, not so much. So that's one potential upgrade, but there's so many more. Your typical crown work on all of those barrels for all of these models is nothing exceptional. It's sort of a wrap, and it's not very refined. You're going to notice an 11-degree crown barrel here. That's going to impact accuracy. Also made per FN Browning's final blueprint version, which was blueprinted by Léon Hubert. You're going to notice that, and we've got videos where barrel cam lugs fracture, and this design is made to stop that. You're going to notice the old design of the barrels, and you can take a look and see what you have, but that barrel cam lug meets the body of the barrel, and then it makes a 90-degree angle. No such 90-degree angles here. 90-degree angles are weak, they fracture, and we've got extra support going right here ahead of the barrel cam lug area, which is the risky fracture point. You're going to notice at the chambers, and if we can get even a good look at that, this is so noticeable. You have here a very much more open entrance to the chamber, chamfered all the way around and polished. And if you can imagine, you know, bullet going smoothly into this one, and this one here has got an edge all the way around. And the feeding is just can't be as smooth in the old design as in the BH Advanced barrel design as well, and that is a biggie for reliability, for feeding, also for extraction. You can get them out of the barrel same way as you get them in the barrel, easier, they leave easier, they function better. You're going to notice there's a little notch right here. That is actually a dual purpose notch. It's one, an ejection port. It gets you more margin for those empty shells leaving the firearm, first of all. Second of all, when it's installed, that little notch right there serves as a loaded chamber indicator. In other words, you can see just enough of the brass or just enough of the nickel casing so that you can tell, am I loaded or am I not? And that is what that is the second benefit of that. And you're also going to notice a lot of attention to detail here, chamfering around all of the edges, the critical edges and things all the way around the barrel. And you know, I personally, I love that barrel. It is an accuracy corrector. It's an accuracy inducer in all of those models. The one downside of the old Argentine FM production, we've noticed a lot of really bad accuracy out of those OEM barrels, and it's unmistakable. Same way we've noticed deficient accuracy in a lot of the Girsan MC-P35 and PI barrels as well. Again, this corrects it, especially since it's FN Browning blueprint conformity. You tend to have a better fit at these barrel lugs that mate with the slide recesses up in the slide, and a better fit at the end of the barrel with the slide barrel bushing in the end of your slide. So that's a product that we are extremely proud of, and you're going to notice an accuracy difference. Accuracy has been, so-so with the Springfield SA-35 compact with their OEM barrel. Again, this was a defined improvement in that one as well. So again, all three of those models, these are what we would call core essential upgrades in those models for optimal reliability and accuracy in all of those models. Now available in a combo pack, as you see here, where these do very much work together. And so we wanted to show you that these are our primary, essential, important upgrades in, again, the FM Detective models, the Girsan MC-P35 PI models, and the Springfield SA-35 compact models. And folks, thanks for joining us. I'm Mark Allen, BH Spring Solutions LLC, BHSpringSolutions.com. Thanks, folks.